If you didn't hear, the head of Instagram recently announced that Instagram is no longer just a photo sharing app. There's been a lot of conversation going on Instagram about this over the past few weeks. And so I really wanted to make this video to chat with you guys about it. I know we talked about it last week on my Instagram where you shared a lot of your frustrations around this announcement. I've got a lot to say and literally so many thoughts about this. I don't really know where to even start, but I'm gonna try to start in the best way possible. Okay, so here are my initial thoughts. Basically, I don't really think this is news. If you've been on Instagram and you've been using Instagram and you've been paying attention to the way that Instagram has been going, video has become a huge part of the platform and really how you can connect with your audience. And Instagram has definitely been prioritizing video in a lot of different ways. You know, all the way back when they came out with stories, how they came out with stories because a lot of it was video. They came out with IGTV to almost compete with YouTube a little bit. And then now they're coming out with Reels, essentially just to compete with TikTok and the popularity of short form video. And with Reels, there's really been an even bigger push with Reels than all of these other video types because Reels are being pushed to a cold audience currently. So that means when you share an Instagram Reel, people who have no idea who you are or your account and have never seen your name before might come across your Reel and find your account that way. And because Instagram is really prioritizing video in this way, that should have told you something already, right? I mean, we can see this on Instagram, but also just as marketing as a whole and other social media platforms, and what's working really well is video content. And the reason that it works so well is because it genuinely connects with your audience way better than photos and words on a screen ever can. That is something that I preach all of the time, and I absolutely believe is 100% true. And to be completely honest with you, I'm actually really glad that Instagram is prioritizing video and that they are moving in that direction. And here's why. Video, I truly believe, is such a better way to connect with your audience than photos and words on a screen really can. And not to say those things are bad. I started out my business as a photographer. I still am a photographer, and I absolutely love still sharing images, and I think captions are still very important, pulling people in, telling them more of your story. However, when it comes to what's working really well right now in connecting with your audience and grabbing their attention and letting them to get to know you, I truly believe video is the best way to do that. Think about it. When you just think about the people that you follow, the content creators you follow, who are the ones that you feel most connected to? More than likely, if you go look at their accounts, they're actually using a lot of video, whether it's just showing up and showing their face and them talking, or whether it's showing them doing things. I guarantee that a lot of the content creators or businesses you follow that you really love are probably people who use a lot of video. Because if you think about it, when we're connecting with other people, seeing their face and hearing them talk instantly makes us feel like more connected to them, and it makes us feel like we're getting to know them more than if we just read what they wrote, right? So I think it just makes sense in that way. And because of that, because I think video is such a powerful way to connect with your audience, I think that Instagram prioritizing video and pushing video and trending in that direction, going in that direction, continuing to prioritize video, I'm super excited about it because I know, not just because Instagram is pushing it out, but because I know the power of video. I know just how impactful it can be for a business or an influencer or content creator or whatever you do. And it makes me so excited that not only because we're gonna be able to use it more and to reach more people with it, but the cool thing is if you're using Instagram and it's one of your primary platforms where you're growing your business, you don't have to be using any other platforms anymore to be utilizing video. Like back when I started out on Instagram, Reels weren't a thing, IGTV wasn't a thing yet, stories weren't even a thing yet. And so that's why I started my YouTube channel pretty early on in my business, because I knew that video was so incredibly powerful, but I didn't have the capability to share a lot of video on Instagram yet. And so I think it's a really cool thing that nowadays, even if you're still growing or if you've grown and you want to incorporate more video, it's at your fingertips now. If Instagram is a platform you use a lot, you don't have to use another platform. You don't have to get on TikTok. You don't have to get on YouTube in order to use all different types of video, whether it's live video or IGTV or stories or things like that. And so I really think that this new push, even though we've kind of seen it coming for a while, right? I do think that it is a really cool opportunity and something we can really see as a gift that we get to use for our businesses to grow. And that is something that makes me so excited. So if you're actually new here, I have a ton of videos on how to use video on Instagram, particularly Reels, because that's what's being pushed to cold audiences. And so to grow your account, that's really where it's at. So I'll put my favorite video right here. It's a Reels tutorial, and we'll put links down below with different Reels videos that you can watch on my channel. But I also want to encourage you here that even if you're a photographer, or even if you're someone where photos are a huge part of your business, maybe you sell products and having product photos is very important, I want to encourage you that I still think video wins a lot of the time. And the reason that I say that is because it goes back to, we talked about on my channel a few weeks ago, personal branding. And I talked about the importance of personal branding. No matter what kind of business you have, I think every business can take advantage of personal branding and connecting with your audience personally past just what you do. And so if we use that concept and take that concept in mind, it doesn't really matter what we sell or what we do, but we can absolutely use something like video to help grow our business and to grow our audience. So for example, if you're a photographer, you can share more of your life and behind the scenes, or your editing process and how you edit photos before and afters, or just share more about you and your personality, and you can really help bring your personal brand to life with video. And that goes for literally any other business. So no matter what kind of business you have, you can absolutely be using video. And so does this mean that I think everybody has to go full force with video and go crazy with it? No, absolutely not. I think that, it's using a ton of video like I do in my business. I create YouTube videos, I create Reels, I do some lives, we do some IGTVs, I do stories regularly. I don't necessarily think that means you have to be doing all the things. You don't have to, absolutely not at all. But I do think you can take some small steps in the direction of adding video into your business, and it can make a huge impact, even just adding little things here and there. So what I mean by this, and basically this is where we get to the part where we talk about what do these changes actually mean for you? What are some things you can do moving forward to change up your strategy that's really gonna lean into where things are trending when it comes to not just Instagram, but social media as a whole, right? The first thing I want to mention here is just add video into your content strategy. Right? And it seems really simple, but I think we can get really overwhelmed thinking about, oh my gosh, video marketing, this is really overwhelming. Like if you've never done it before, I completely understand. It is definitely overwhelming. But I really want to encourage you that if growing an audience on Instagram right now is important to you, leaning into video and adding video to your content is gonna make a huge difference. And so the first tip I have for you here is just to start small. Start with really small baby steps. Nothing says that you have to go full force and start doing all the things all at once, right? Maybe it's something as simple as pushing yourself to create one Instagram reel every single week and be consistently showing up in that way. Maybe it's to show up with your face to the camera on Instagram stories at least 3 times a week. So instead of just sharing, hey, I have this to share with you, or I have a new blog post, or whatever it is that you normally share in your Instagram stories, maybe just get in front of the camera and talk to the camera and tell them that you have a new blog post, and give them a little blurb about it, and then give them the link to it or whatever else after that. So I just want to encourage you to start with baby steps and think about, this leads me into my next tip, is to think about what photo content and still image content are you creating that you can replace with video content. So maybe the time that you're spending creating some of these photos or still images, how can you use your time instead to create video content? So a few ideas I have for you. Maybe if you intentionally create an Instagram post one day a week, maybe while you're creating an Instagram post, also create a reel that you can post that week. Or maybe if you take content photos, film the behind the scenes of you creating those photos. People love to see the process in Reels. And I actually have a video all about different ideas, specific ideas you can do for Reels. So we'll be sure to link that down below as well. But basically, you can just film the behind the scenes of you in the content creation process and put it together in a really short reel that shows you, behind the camera, taking your photos, and then shows the final images after that. You can also think about animating any graphics that you're making. So I know a lot of us use Canva to create graphics when we're sharing about new podcast episodes or new blog posts or new videos or things along those lines. There's actually an animate feature within Canva, and I'll put a link down below if you want to check Canva out, but it's really really easy way. Think about it like Photoshop for dummies. So it's like super simple, super easy, and super user-friendly to get started with, even if you don't consider yourself to be tech savvy. And their animate feature is so amazing. I use it for so many of my YouTube videos. I use it for graphics on my Instagram, and it is just actually really incredible. So that's a really awesome way to incorporate more video if you want to be animating things a little bit more and you don't want to always be getting yourself on camera. My next tip I have for you here when it comes to creating more video and leaning into video when it comes to Instagram is to consider batch creating content. So when I say batch creating, essentially what I'm saying is do a lot of the same tasks at once, especially if you're already getting your hair and makeup done and you're getting dressed and all of that to create Instagram reel. Instead of just creating one reel and having to do that 2 to 3 times per week, sit down and flesh out in an hour or two, maybe 8 to 10 reels that you can then post over the next couple of weeks. So you're taking advantage of your time a little bit more, and you're not doing all of this work to get ready to film things, to film video, whether it's long form video like this, or maybe it's reels or stories. Even stories, you can batch film them on your camera and then post them later whenever you decide you want to share about that. And so you can think about that too, the concept of batch filming can be really, really helpful when it comes to creating video content and being consistent with it and providing great content on a consistent basis. If you're at this point in the video, the next thing you're probably wondering to yourself is, okay, so if video is where it's going and you've decided, yes, I want to go for it, I want to lean into this change, I want to take advantage of the opportunity to use video on Instagram, well, you're in the right place, because I've got literally a ton of videos on my YouTube channel all about that exact topic, specifically about Reels, because it is such a cool way to grow your Instagram account right now, to connect with your audience, to reach a new audience. And so, like I mentioned throughout this video, I'll link below some of my favorite videos from my channel, including my full Instagram Reels tutorial and 20 instant ideas for Instagram Reels to help get you started. So if that overwhelms you at all, be sure to check out those videos. I think you'll find them really helpful in just getting started with video. And I want to encourage you, again, the more you do it, the better it gets. And if you are willing to push yourself a little bit, just take some baby steps. I promise it's going to make a huge difference. It can make a big impact. And the way that not only you're able to show up on Instagram and for Instagram to prioritize your content, but also in the way that you can genuinely connect with your audience for them to feel like they're getting to know you a little bit better. So if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. It really does help a lot for more people to see my content, and it means so much to me. And I upload new videos here every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk a lot about social media, video marketing, content creation on this channel. So if that sounds great to you, be sure to follow along. We would love to have you hanging out here. And if you guys have any of your own thoughts about this new change and any other questions, hesitations, concerns about it, absolutely, please drop a comment below. I would love to get the conversation started with you guys and just to know where you guys are at with this, and if there's any other way that I can help you, any other videos that I can make in the future, that would be really helpful for you. So thank you for sticking around. You guys are the best, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.